presented by Scott Credit Union. Your St. Louis
BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha and mahalo. Welcome to the Friday edition of the BlueNote Fan Report. It is July 22nd. We are 12, almost 19 days away from the Kachuk Cheese Please arbitration hearing. Boy, are we going to keep hearing it and hearing it and hearing it and hearing it and hearing it. I've been in some conversation. I'm trying to stay out of a lot of it. I'm in some of it on Twitter and in some of the groups and things like that. And I even talked a little bit about it on a podcast I did. Remember Scott Kinville, who was here with us a little bit earlier, has been on the show. I did he had me on his show, and we did the top, my top Blues teams, honorable mention, second team, and first team. And I'm going to play a little bit of that first, right? And then we'll talk more. I think Wendy might join us. It sounds like Lance is going to join us here in a little bit. So let's listen to Scott's, what me and Scott had to say. I don't remember where I have this keyed up at, and we'll go from there. And he also has the ability, and he did something that no other coach has done. He brought the cup.
So I give him that. Exactly.
Right. Yep.
Exactly. You know what? He was right there for me too. And I also included, because I couldn't decide, Brian Sutter.
Sutter is a little higher for me. So
okay. Well, like I said, you know much more about the Blues than I do, so I'll take your word for it. All right, guys. So on our honorable mention list, who is your goalie?
Oh, see, now that's a tough one. And we were talking about this last night on my show after everybody popped off. And I think, I gave a lot of thought to this, and I got to go with Mike Liut.
Okay.
Right? Mike Liut, and he holds the record for most wins.
Mm-hmm.
I think that number is 151. I'm trying to pull it up here to make sure, because I don't remember. My time in the service has kind of messed with my head a little bit. Well, there's a little bit of it. I don't want to play all of it. I want you to check it out. It's Marty's Illegal Stick on YouTube. It's episode 86. It's an hour and a half long, but I think you'll laugh. I think we had a good time. We had a real fun time doing it. I enjoyed it. Please check it out. Give it some views. Give him some love on Facebook and YouTube and all of that stuff. Good guy. We've had him on the show. I enjoy having him on the show. Trying to bring his channel up here real quick so I can show you his channel and so you can see that. There we go. I should be able to show it now. Yeah, there we go. So there's his channel. Check it out and watch the episode for us and you leave comments. Let him know what you think. He's a good guy. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing it. I've been into some conversations and it brought up something. It brought up something with Tarasenko, and there's people out there who don't like the fact that I will keep Tarasenko over Kachuk. And here's the thing, right? You've seen some of the antics of Kachuk, right? Remember, and I remember we talked about it on the show. I forget who it was against. Actually, Wendy might remember this. Hey, Wendy, how you doing, bud?
Doing all right.
Hey, man, do you remember, I think it was this season, earlier in the season, Kachuk, Matt Kachuk, someone come up to him, one of the bigger players come up to him and, tried to fight him, and Kachuk, slank away. You remember that?
No.
Right? I mean,
he does that every year.
Huh?
He does that every year.
That's one of his antics, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm concerned about. And then I started really thinking about something. The narrative of that Tarasenko wants to be traded. And there we go. Jose remembers it. Zach Cason.
Zach,
right?
Cassian.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Against Edmonton. Okay, well, see, some people remember it. I couldn't remember it exactly. I have to admit that the more Chuck talks keep going, the more it's hard to stay out of it. It is hard to stay out of it. But the Tarasenko ones, this is something that I started thinking about. And I started thinking about, it brought up to me the Laine situation. It brought up the Eichel situation. And even I think didn't Panarin kind of have something come up with that in Chicago?
No.
Weren't there? I had heard that there were some issues with him in the locker room.
No, there weren't any issues with him in the locker room.
But usually when a player wants to be traded, when a player really, really wants to be traded, it becomes an issue in the locker room, right?
Panarin did not want to even be traded.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking more the Laine. I'm trying to think of situations, right? And what I'm getting at, and I know you're too young for this, but Adam Oates, right? Blues fans, the older ones will remember the Adam Oates deal. When a player wants to be traded, it becomes such a weight that it really starts to affect the team. It affects the front office. It affects the league. I mean, it really has an effect on everybody. And GMs want it to go away. They will trade that guy away. You know, they just want it to go away. And that's what happened with Eichel. That's what happened with Laine, Oates. And I'm sure maybe Wendy can, I know you got a better memory than, but you can think of some other situations where a player just wanted out and was all kinds of trouble.
There's been cases of it where, like, yeah, they are showing on the ice that they don't even want to be there. Like last year when it was Pierre-Luc Dubois getting traded to Winnipeg, he did not want to play for the Blue Jackets. They traded him to Winnipeg. They got back Laine.
Yeah.
He played like maybe 2 shifts, and when he was out there, he wasn't even skating.
He played 2 shifts for
the Jackets.
He got traded along with Laine.
He got traded for Laine.
I thought okay, that's right. Laine was on I thought when Laine was on the Blue Jacket.
Laine?
I'm sorry, man. I see it. I'm bad at those last names sometimes. Yes, Keenan sent guys out that were locker room problems.
Keenan,
right? I mean, he was. Say again.
Keenan was a head case for any team he was with.
Oh, I mean that's true. But the point I'm trying to get at is, if Tarasenko wanted to be traded, a GM's going to trade him, right? If he truly, honestly wanted to be traded, you're not going to keep him around. It's going to be a locker room problem. It's going to be a locker room issue.
Mm-hmm.
And with Tarasenko, it's been the exact opposite. He's actually become more of a locker room leader, not less. Right? All this stuff about him being traded. That's why I don't think that the current, the one guy, Frank Cervelli, and I'm going to call him out, and I guess I can because he's the one that put it out on tweet. Tarasenko hasn't, rescinded the trade request. Well, you know what? Nobody has confirmed nor denied that. Nobody. And you look at Armstrong. Armstrong said, I'm not going down that rabbit hole again. He's here. He's going to be here. I don't think that the trade request is there. I think it's been rescinded, and I still don't think it was ever a true trade request. Right?
I'm just saying this. I don't think Tarasenko will be a Blue next off season.
That's possible.
I think he
I'm
will
looking
leave
at
as a free agent.
I'm looking at the NHL.com. They're ranking their top 50 prospects, and right now they have Jake Neighbors at number 45. Here's the man stirring up all the controversy today. How you doing, Lance?
I'm not doing too bad.
Yeah, good to have you. I was just talking. I was talking with Wendy, and I was kind of going through. You look at situations where players want to get traded. And almost always they get traded right away. I mean, the GMs don't want to deal with it. The locker room starts to fall apart. There's all kinds of other things like that. And when I Ryan Green says Andy Strickland said he guarantees Kachuk by next season. And you know what? That is probably the better possibility than anything else. Right? Because right now, the only way that you can get Kachuk, I bet you 90% of Blues fans would say no effing way. There's only one way I can see getting Kachuk.
I don't know, Guy. There's so many people that, like I put
St.
on
Louis
Facebook.
is really delusional when it comes to Kachuk right now.
Yeah. It's like I put out on Facebook and Twitter. I asked him, would you give up this, and this if his last name wasn't Kachuk? Well, some people said, no, it doesn't matter. But, most Blues fans, if it wasn't Keith Kachuk's son and his name was Jonathan Gorge with the same numbers, the Blues fans, probably 50% of them would want him. And, hey, there's nothing against people wanting a guy to come to your city that grew up there. There's nothing against that. It's just isn't realistic. But I'm like you guys. I think they're better chance if they want to get him. And it may cost them a little more monetarily next year. But I think they don't have to give up anything to get him next year. But they're going to be competing with a bunch of teams.
There was an article on The Athletic today, and I read it fully. 5 trade proposals. Mm-hmm. There wasn't one trade proposal on there.
There wasn't.
That made sense.
Mm-mm.
There's one trade proposal that I think makes sense, and it works in every sense of the way. And I guarantee you, Blues fans would say absolutely no to it. And this is it. This is the only way I see Matt Tkachuk coming to St. Louis. And this is there's no way that a player could veto it. No trade clauses don't matter. All of that stuff. Here's the trade. 2023 first, 2024 first. Ivan Barbashev. And you ready? Ryan O'Reilly. That's the only way that trade works. The only way. There's no way anybody can veto the trade. There's no way that you've got to ask anybody or do anything like that. That's the only way that trade works. You're muted, man.
Muted.
Exactly right. If they want Tarasenko or Krug to go, they've got to approve it.
Right? And anybody else, they got to the no trade clauses. You've got to get them to approve it. This is a trade that you don't have to get them to approve. And I want to put it out on Twitter, but I know I'll get tore up.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I don't care.
Only trade that makes sense. The only trade that makes sense, and you don't have to worry about anything else. It makes sense money wise. You get the money, right? You're cap. You're almost cap compliant. Right? You might be only able to put 22 guys on instead of 23, but you can meet the cap. You can have 21 guys with that cap, right? Mm-hmm. They have Barbashev long term. Right, they have Barbashev long term, and the chances of getting O'Reilly to a long term contract. He's from Canada. I don't know what part of Canada he's from. I think he's from Ontario. I don't think he's from Calgary. I don't think he's from that area, Alberta. But it's the only way that I see this happen, and I think that if O'Reilly's the type of guy that would sign a contract in Calgary. He'd sign a long-term deal, and they have the money to sign him. Rob Morton says, send ORR right now. By the only one who doesn't consider Kachuk a super great all-time Blue. I don't either. He was good, but I wouldn't build a team around him. They tried. No, I wouldn't.
They tried to build a team around Keith Kachuk, and it didn't work.
Right? Yeah, well, they built it around trading him. Didn't they trade him once or twice?
They traded him to the Thrashers. For the Thrashers. And I think one more time. I might be mistaken, but I know the Thrashers at least.
I want to say that they traded him, he signed with us, and then they traded him again. Mm-hmm. Right? He on his last year deal, they traded him, and then they signed back because they were talking about having the Kachuk rule because he did it. I think he did it twice. Mm-hmm. Right? I know there's been 3 players that have played with the Blues for 3 separate stints. I just don't know who they are. Right? I know Perron's one of them. I couldn't find the other 2. Jose says, I doubt they'll be trading O'Reilly. I'm not against that. He went to Phoenix, but he also went to the Thrashers. I do know that. I think he was in Phoenix before he came to us.
He was in Phoenix. He was in Phoenix before he came to us.
Then he might have signed another deal here. He might have been traded the second time.
He got traded to Arizona for the trade deadline for the playoff run, and they made the playoffs that year.
Yeah. Am I missing something? But I don't think O'Reilly had a great year. It's O'Reilly had a decent year. He didn't have an amazing year, but he had a decent year. And what I'm looking at, first of all, the Tarasenko trade stuff, I can't get behind. I can't get behind it, and one of the reasons, and I'm bringing this up. Wait did, and was Wait that went to Atlanta.
No, okay. It was not. No. The Blues didn't trade Wait and then get him back.
No, Wait didn't. I don't think Wait resigned. I know Kachuk did.
Yeah.
Right. Hold on. Well, hold on a second. Let's let me do a little research here. I'm like terrible at sounding at spelling that last name. I can't spell it unless it's like right in front of me. I can't spell it. So,
which player?
Keith Kachuk. I'm trying to pull.
I thought you were looking up Doug Wait.
No, I want to look up at Kachuk first.
Doug Wait played for the Blues, played for Carolina, played for the Blues, and then played for Anaheim, and then the Islanders after that. So he left twice and came back.
I'm pulling up Kachuk's numbers now if I can. So Kachuk was on the Phoenix Coyotes. Was traded to St. Louis in 2001. Mm-hmm. Got traded to the Atlanta Thrashers in 2006 or 2007, and then re-signed with the Blues in 7 and 8 and stayed with them till 2010.
Yep.
And then I think he retired after that.
He did. He had his last game. I was at the game.
Keith was traded to St. Louis from Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think he was he might have signed.
No,
he signed a free agent deal with Phoenix.
Yeah, but
right?
He didn't sign with the Thrashers. He was traded to the Thrashers, and he started out with Winnipeg. If everybody remembers that,
right? Oh, I didn't realize that Kachuk was actually from the U.S. I thought he was a Canadian kid.
Who are you talking about, Matthew?
No, Keith.
Yeah, Keith is an American.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking he was a Canadian kid. Is he from Boston? Melrose, Massachusetts. So yeah, the Boston. He's kind of a Boston kid. That makes some sense now. But getting back to where I was at, he was. Yeah. We just kind of. Nitro says, "Do you think the Blues will struggle?" No, I don't. I think the Blues are I think the division is the Blues to win or lose. Right? I really do.
I think that with the way some of these teams haven't necessarily, they've stayed par or they've gotten just a little bit worse. I don't think there's anybody you can say that, oh my God, they got so much better in the offseason in the Central Division. I think it's going to be a tight race, and I think there's 3 or 4 teams that could probably win the Central, and the Blues are one of them.
I think free agency has helped Nashville out a lot more than I thought.
Yep. Yeah, it has.
Nashville was one of the teams that I thought would take a step back. I think that they either stayed same or maybe a small step forward. That was originally a team I thought that was going to take a step back. I don't think they did yet. I think Dallas could move into that tier of staying the same, but at the moment they're not. Right? There's still some free agents out there. There's actually some big name free agents out there that closer to the start of the season are going to get some 1-year deals that could help some teams. Right?
I think there also might be some of them that go to camp as a PTO.
PTO?
I think there might be one guy or two guys, and it's not necessarily your top tier free agents, but I think there might be.
Well, the guys that are going to do that are going to go to teams that have guys that they know are going to go on LTIR, and that PTO is to get them to work out with the team. The season starts, they put the guy on LTIR, and then they sign him from the PTO. Right? They're just like Hoffman in 21. Right? The Blues didn't have the room. They knew that they were going to put Steen on LTIR, right? Because he had retired. They put Steen on day of the season starts. They put Steen on LTIR. They sign Hoffman to a 1 year, $4 million deal. That's a guy I wish they would have kept longer. What do you got here for me there, bud?
Something interesting you could see could be a potential.
Well, the problem with that, I like it, but the problem is Krug has a no trade clause, and the feeling is that he would not go to Calgary. Right, and I mean, otherwise, that's not a bad trade. It's not. So the trade that let me show this. Let me go ahead and show it for you, bud.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh, I think I would too. To be honest, I just the only thing that's stopping me is the no trade clause, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the only thing that's keeping me from saying.
I'm just saying, if Krug did waive his no trade clause,
I to me that works. Now you're looking at what, $11 million. You've got the $9 million of the signing, right? I would do it. I would do it. In an almost, I think I would do that. I don't think. Well, here's the thing: Calgary wouldn't do this deal, right? And the reason I say Calgary wouldn't do this deal is they want young talent. They want young guys. They want young NHL ready guys. They want a Neighbors. They want a Bolduc. You know, the one guy that I think that they could. They're not as bad on defense. I don't think that they think they need to get better on defense, though they might take somebody like Matt Kessel. I think Matt Kessel has the. I think Matt Kessel can be a defensive star in the NHL. And I mean a defensive defenseman, a guy that gets in there and just, a puck vacuum. I liked what I saw from him in the AHL. I liked when he came in, and you got to remember, this guy can still score. He was the leading scorer in the defensive scorer in the NCAA last year. Right, the guy knows how to use the puck, and he went to the finals. I don't think they won it, but he went to the finals. He knows how to play on a championship team.
I don't ever judge defensemen on their offensive stuff, whether it's college, whether it's AHL, because it's totally different than the NHL. I've seen so many defensemen tear up juniors, tear up college, and even somewhat tear up the AHL, and they come up in the NHL and they score 5 goals a year and 18 assists. Until I see him in the NHL, I'm not going to say he's going to be a great player. I just can't. Not that I don't like the kid. I think he's got some great upside and he can be really good. And, you were talking about trades get done quickly when guys went out. Well, here are the stumbling points. Whether people believe me or not, I really don't care. The stumbling points are the contract that Kachuk wants, and that's why the Blues haven't got him. They can work around who they want. The Blues have given them several options, and that no trade clause. Kachuk and his agent are not wanting to budge on that no trade clause, and that's that's huge.
Doesn't he can't take a no trade clause until I thought you couldn't get a no trade clause until you were 27.
No. It's no. He can get one as he can get a no trade clause if the team wants to give it to him.
I know the RFAs can't get one.
Yeah, well, if the Blues trade him and sign, they trade for his rights and sign him, he won't be considered an RFA anymore. He'll be the Blues property, and then they'll have to come up with the contract for him because the Blues own him.
He would actually still be considered an RFA.
That's right. I wasn't thinking properly, but that's he wants some type of very good guaranteed no trade thing, and the Blues just aren't wanting to give him that.
I think what I would do with him is something along the lines of like what they did with Parayko, or maybe not give him the no trade right up front, or give it to him for 2 years, and then after that have it start like a contract similar to Bennington's. Everyone complained about Bennington's being a 3x6 or 6x6, and it wasn't. In all actuality, it was a 3x6. Because after the third year, he starts putting in, no trade list. That doesn't mean he can't be traded. He just can't be traded to certain teams, right? I think I could see giving him something like that. To me, he hasn't earned a full no trade clause. All right, you brought up a good point, Lance, and you brought this up on Twitter. I seen it. You know, you take out last year, and he's 55 points per guy a year.
Yeah. And all these people, Guy, he's a proven 100-point scorer. Hey, Wendy, you can back me up on this, and I know Guy will, but how many players have we seen through my lifetime, and even though you're younger than me, your lifetime, who have 50, 60 points, and they jump up one year to 100 points, and they never get within 20, 30 points of that ever again? And my point was, let's say he goes back to maybe better than that, maybe better than 55, and he's at 70. If he's a 70-point player for the rest of his life, was he worth giving him that money? And all them people, that was my point. Yeah. He's not a proven 100-point guy. 1 year doesn't mean you're a proven 100-point guy.
Yeah, this was his first year doing 100 points. That entire first line of Calgary of Gaudreau, Lindholm, and Kachuk, they were just having a historic season. And I don't think Kachuk has another 100-point season in him because he's not getting the passes from Lindholm or
Johnny.
Yeah.
And you know, was he a good player before that? Yeah, his highest thing was 61 points. Now let's say he stays at that 61, 70 points. I'm not giving him $9, $10, $11 million for 7 years, and I'm not going to give up 2 players and 2 or 3 prospects. Would you give that up for Robert Thomas right now? I wouldn't give that up for Robert Thomas.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. Krug is actually from Boston.
Yeah, he's from Boston.
Or no, Minnesota.
No, he's
Minnesota.
from Michigan.
Michigan?
Michigan?
Okay, Michigan. He's a U.S. kid. I knew he was a U.S. kid. Though Calgary is kind of closer for him, right?
Not really.
I mean, I don't know. Michigan, no, we're closer. Somewhat. I mean, McDavid MVP shows up. I'm thinking we are favorites for Kane, meaning Patrick Kane.
No. Patrick Kane is not going to the frickin' Edmonton Oilers.
No way.
Get your delusional mind out of that.
Yeah, Dylan
Patrick
Holloway
Kane will
is
not
what I'm
go to
hearing.
the Edmonton
Yeah,
Oilers.
and if I'm not mistaken, Nick, he has said before, without fully coming out and saying it, he's being nice about it. I don't think the man wants to play in Canada, and I really don't blame him because of the money. And a lot of these guys, from what the agents I'm talking to, the free agents, they don't want to. They've either played in Canada and they don't want to be there anymore, or they haven't played and they're getting offers from Canada. They don't want the exchange rate money-wise. They don't want the taxes, and they don't want the political issues up there. And I know that's nothing to do with me or you guys, but there's a lot going on here, kind of like the Russian thing that Guy brought up. There's a lot going on behind the scenes with these agents. There's guys that will not go to Canada. They just won't.
And right now, Patrick Kane isn't even getting traded. He's not asked the Hawks to be traded.
And Chicago's had zero contact with anybody about him. So, yeah, it's going to take more than that.
There were teams that contacted them at the deadline to test it, but the Hawks said no. And the main team that contacted the Hawks were the Avalanche, and the Hawks basically shut them down on it.
Good for you.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good point. I got to give a little bit of a clap for this. Does anyone think Army has a lot of bad deals contracts? I read a lot of people saying he gives a lot of bad deals. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure every GM has a few here and there. You know what? I can only think of about 3 or 4 contracts that to me probably come up as quote unquote bad deals overall. And I can only think of one bad deal, bad trade that the Blues have made in the past 10 years. I can think of one, and that's the Ryan Miller trade. We got junk out of that, right? We got a guy that didn't want to be here, didn't want to play here, and just, olayed it to, gave Chicago 4 straight wins by just not being there at all.
Yeah, and I
didn't
think
he waive his no move clause to go to you guys?
I don't know. I think he may.
He did.
He did.
He did, but he
was
basically
he was okay with going to you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't say he was not wanting to be there if he waived his no move clause to go to you guys.
He basically, from what I understood at the time, he told Doug Armstrong that, yeah, I'll come there for the playoffs, but I right now I don't have any plans of staying in St. Louis. And Doug Armstrong went ahead and did the deal.
And then I don't think that him and Hitchcock got along.
Probably not. And my 3 bad
along.
deals, and people are going to disagree with me because he got rid of one of the guys.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sobotka, the second time around, I begged him on Twitter not to get him back. He wasn't the same player he was 3 years before that. And I also begged him not to sign Steen to 6 years. Should have got him for 4. And I think the Laterra deal, where Laterra, or was it Yaskin? Maybe it was Yaskin. Either Yaskin or Laterra was making 3.5 or 3.6 million, and they should have never made that much. And he got rid of both of those guys, which is fine. That's what I like about Doug. If he does make a mistake, a lot of times he does correct it. Is he perfect, like some Blues fans say? Is he the worst GM, like some Blues fans are saying on Twitter? If he doesn't get Kachuk, he should be fired. Well, no, he's not that bad. He's I would say he's a top 8 GM, top 7. I wouldn't put him in the top 2 or 3, honestly, but I think he's definitely.
I'm a little higher. I put him in the top 5.
Oh,
right?
We're close.
I put him in the top 5, even in the top 3. I think he should be up for Executive of the Year every year. I really do think that. I mean, I'm wrong, but that's how I look at it. The bad contracts I look at, I don't see Laterra as bad of a contract as you do, because he got rid of him and got Shin. So he made up for that, right? Sobotka, he got rid of Sobotka. Sobotka was part of the O'Reilly deal. Mm-hmm. Right, Sobotka, and then
Berglund.
So the worst contract that I can think of that we had with him was Jake Allen. Right, Jake Allen, unfortunately, and I like Jake Allen. I've loved him. He was overpaid, and when Jake Allen was the man, Jake Allen does not handle well with that. Jimmy, welcome to the show. Jimmy says Thomas isn't worth $8 million, 5 to 6. I have to disagree with that. I really do. At 22, to have a 77 points this year, right? Season, and he's the type of guy that you build around. I think that was the right contract. I really do. I'm not disappointed with the 8.1. I'm not. I'm okay with it.
And another thing that the Blues did was smart. They signed him before he was able to become a UFA. And anytime a team can do that, and I'm going to tell you one thing. Let's say Robert Thomas comes out and he has a 100-point year. I'm not saying he's going to do that. If let's say he has a 105-point year, do you know what he would cost you next year? $11.5 million. Armstrong did this perfectly. The way he did it, just perfectly. And I know people think he's overpaid, but I think it was a perfect amount for what he does bring already and what he can bring.
Well, welcome, Jason. Jason, you got to figure out how to get your notification set so you get notifications when the show's coming on, bud. Right? I'm doing the best I can. Jimmy says he had one good year. They tipped his money too soon. I don't agree with that. He was showing signs of where he was during the 21 season, right? I think during 21, I know that was the 56 game season, but I want to say that he had a decent year there too, right? He's showing me that he can be a number 1 center, right? And centers are going to get paid more. You brought this up. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to pull Robert Thomas's numbers up here real quick just to make sure I'm not a complete. And now my laptop wants to freeze up on me. Hold on, I'm almost there. Okay. Come on, dang it. Okay, so he had 77 points this year. He only had 12 last year in 2021. I don't remember if he was injured or not, but he only played in 33 games. You look at 1920, up until that, he had 42 points in 66 games. He had 33 points in 18-19 playing in 70 games, and that was playing on 4th line, playing 3rd line.
Limited minutes.
Playing on the top line, the top 2 lines, he exploded. And he's only 22, right? In the NHL, you have to pay forward. You don't pay back, you pay forward. You have to look at what this guy could make down the road. And Lance, I think you're right. I get where you're saying. Jimmy says, sorry here. Do you think the Blues will actually have a shot to get Kachuk? Yes, they do have a shot. It's what they're willing to give up to get him and what Calgary's willing to accept. Right now, I see one trade offer that you can make that Calgary may accept, but, there's no way anybody can stop it. It's 2023 first, 2024 first. Ivan Barbashev, Ryan O'Reilly. Right? And Shockey says he broke his hand in 20. So I remember him, he might have had an injury there. Mm-hmm. I just think that what Thomas has shown us is that he can be that guy. He can, and I don't think he's a one-year thing. And you know what? The problem is we got to look at Kachuk the same way. You know, Kachuk's got more of a sample size. But like Wendy said, Kachuk had 2 line mates that also had 100 points. Right? When was the last time 3 guys and 3 line mates had 100 points? It's been a while, right?
It's pretty much, I think it was Gretzky era.
I think it was, because even when Kane and Taves were at their best, I don't think there was them and when they were on the same line, I don't think there was anybody beside them that was getting 100 points. I can't remember anybody.
Kane has only been the only 100-point player on the Hawks.
This is going to be a fun one. Okay, Jimmy, I got to know. So you say no on the O'Reilly, Tarasenko in his place. First of all, Tarasenko has a no trade clause. And I want to know why you were willing to give up Tarasenko. O'Reilly does not have a no trade clause. He has no say in this.
Guy,
Tarasenko does.
Here's why.
I want to hear it from Jimmy. Why? No, I'm doing this for a reason, Lance.
I know what he's going to say.
I want to hear from Jimmy.
Go ahead.
Why he's so willing to give up Tarasenko. All right, I really do. I want to know why.
Let us know, Jimmy, please.
All right. I'm going to be railed, but I have no problem losing Tank. He was injured a long time. What's to say it won't happen again? That's a good point. But it doesn't. But he doesn't want to be here. And O'Reilly is a better leader. Jimmy, why do you think? And I'm doing this on purpose. So you got to deal with. You got to bear with me. Why do you think he doesn't want to be here? I want to know why you think he doesn't want to be here. And Jimmy, I'm not picking on you. I'm making a point, and you're leading me down that point. So please, I want to know why you think Tarasenko doesn't want to be here, and also why you think O'Reilly is a better leader. That's another question I have. All right, let's see what the answer is. He said he was looking to be traded. Wait, now, okay, Jimmy, find me the quote where Vladimir Tarasenko said, I want to be traded. Find me that.
Or find it to where he said, I demand a trade, or I demand a trade now. Find something like that.
Not somebody else saying it, where Tarasenko himself
on the record
said, I want to be traded. Right? You are falling into the Tarasenko narrative. You are falling into the Tarasenko narrative, Jimmy. Let me explain. And I want to, and let me listen up. Maybe I can. What? Am I somebody mad at me?
No, I just saw the Cubs score just now. Holy crap!
Yeah. Well, the Cardinals were losing to Philly, so
the Cubs just beat the Phillies 15-2.
Oh my!
Today? Oh no,
yeah.
We're losing. We were playing the Reds.
Oh my!
No, you have not. No, you have not. Jimmy, you have not seen it online. You have not seen one single time where Vladimir Tarasenko himself has said, I want to be traded and I don't want to be in St. Louis.
Yeah.
What you have seen online is a report from one reporter that mentioned the trade request. When Doug Armstrong was asked about the trade request last year, he said, first of all, he thanked Tarasenko's for keeping it quiet, and he said, Vladimir came to us and said that if we did not want him here, here are some teams that he would be willing to go to. We want Tarasenko here, but we'll listen to offers. That's what Armstrong said. Everybody has blown it the other way. Jimmy.
Can I say one thing, Guy?
Yeah.
Because I know where he's going to go with this. I've read it several places is what he's going to say. Well, the other articles that came out after that, they were all quoting Jeremy Rutherford's article. Nobody had an into that. They were all basing their articles on Jeremy Rutherford's article.
That's laughing at this quote, not you, Lance. Yeah, that's what it was. Everything was quoting that. And right now, this he doesn't want to be here. It's from Frank Cervelli's tweet.
It's a guy.
Frank Cervelli's tweet.
It's the same thing this year where people are saying that Patrick Kane demanded a trade. Patrick Kane has not demanded a trade from Chicago this year. Not once has he said to them, "Hey guys, I want to trade right now." I mean, am I wrong, Nick?
What Kane and Tay's agent said to the Hawks, basically, they would like to see how the season starts and see from there. They want to make their decision in the season rather than do it in the off season. I think right now, seeing how Hawk fans are really pissed off at the organization, I honestly think Kane and Tays are seeing this and they don't want to add to the bad PR
could be
the Hawks are already dealing with.
Well, yeah, I mean, you remember right the day before the trade deadline started, and that, or not the trade deadline, but free agency started. What did you hear, Nick? You heard everybody saying tomorrow Patrick Kane is going to demand a trade. Did he do that?
Nope.
No.
He said, "I would like to wait until the season it goes."
And one more thing I want to say about Kachuk, Guy, and I'll let you talk. Did everybody see that Patrick Laine just signed with Columbus for 4 years for $8.7 million? Okay.
Yep.
He's a winger, kind of starting to set the market a little bit. This is why all these reports that are saying Kachuk only wants $9 million. Now, if you're Kachuk's agent and you've had better years last year, especially, and Patrick Kane has been surrounded by controversy for several years. People have called him lazy. People have said he was a flash in the pan.
You mean Laine? You mean Laine?
Yeah. I'm talking about Patrick Laine. He got $8.7 million, guys. And you think Kachuk is going to just take $9 million to come here? If I'm Kachuk's agent, I'm going to the Blues right now and saying this is why we're asking $10 to $11 million, because Matthew Tkachuk is better than Patrick Laine any day.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I get what Jason Nichols is saying here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a source. Very few people know this source.
I have a source.
My source is very close to Tarasenko. Very close to Tarasenko, and my source told me that Tarasenko never demanded a trade request. He went to the Blues and said, if you, it feels like you don't want me here.
I'm not in your plan.
And if you don't want me here, I'll give you a list of teams that I'll go to. Right? That is what happened, and that is what was blown out. It was never a quote unquote
demand
trade request.
And one thing people got to think, we know everybody's bashing him. He doesn't like us. We need to get him out of here. Get that a-hole out of here. You know what kind of person it showed me in Tarasenko? If you go to your GM and say, listen, is there something going on? Am I not in your future plans? If not, I'll let you guys trade me. Here are the 10 teams. To me, that's a damn good guy because he cares about the team. He didn't go in and demand it and say, God damn it, I want you guys to trade me right now. That goes to show all of you fans that hate him what type of a player he is. He cares about the team enough to say, if you don't want me here, I understand. Here's the teams I'll go to. That's a great player in my mind.
Right? No, it is. And here's the other thing. A player that is disgruntled doesn't have a great season. Disgruntled players almost never have a great season. And disgruntled players don't get better in the leadership category or in the locker room. Right? That is the thing. Now, look, is Kachuk a better player right now than Tarasenko? Yes, I think he is. That I'm not going to dispute that. He's younger. He's 5 years younger. He got room. He's still got that room. He's got all of that. But is Kachuk is Matt Kachuk going to go stand in front of Hanger and turn around and go, thank you, I hear you, thank you, we hear you every night, thank you so much. Is Kachuk going to do that? I don't think he is.
He never did it in Calgary.
I don't think he is. And, Terrace, is Kachuk going to go stand in front of his coach and tell his coach, we don't do that, when his coach is chewing out one of his line mates for a mistake? We don't do that. That's not how we do. That's not how we handle our business. Right? Oh, when do you get another one of these questions? I'll let you handle this because I know you like this, bud.
Well, it's for longtime voice of the Chicago Blackhawks, Pat Foley, at 3 minutes and 33 seconds in the third period. He will say it's Tree Turdy Tree and the Turd, made the jersey up. Now it's autographed by Pat Foley himself with the inscription of Tree Turdy Tree on it. And his Hall of Fame inscription also.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool,
That's
right?
great.
Also can't forget that Bortuzzo is better than Orleans.
Hey, Michael, I'm glad you keep reminding me, buddy. It's like I was,
No, look, I am okay. Look, if you bring in Matt Kachuk, that's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lose too much to get him. Right? With O'Reilly, think about with O'Reilly. Did we give up too much to get O'Reilly? In my eyes, we did. I think that we should have kept one of the draft picks. I don't think O'Reilly was worth 5 players. I think we should have kept the first. I don't think we should have given him the first and the second. Right? If Tage Thompson had to be part of that deal, fine. Tage Thompson's part of the deal. We want the first back. You keep the second. 4 for 1? Are you kidding? 5 for 1? Are you kidding me? I almost wouldn't trade McDavid 5 for 1.
Yeah, but
Gretzky wasn't traded 5 for 1, was he? I don't think so.
Gretzky to the Blues, I think, was traded for 3 guys: Craig Johnson, Roman Vopat, and one other Blues player. And if there was a pick, it was a very high round pick.
Right? Even Gretzky wasn't traded to Blues 5 for 1. That 5 for 1 blows my mind. Blows my mind. Now, the fact that 2 of those 3 players left, and actually only one of the 5 has been good for Buffalo, right? And everyone else is jetted. That's on Buffalo. But I would not have given that first up. I'm sorry. I would have pulled the first back. If they wanted Thompson, I'd pull the first back. First or Thompson, your choice. Right? And I don't think it should have been a 5 for 1. We gave up too much. We did give up too much. Now we got a cup. That's great. But there was a first round draft pick that we still should have had. Right? We should have had that. We should have had that 32nd or 31st pick in 2019. Shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have gone to Buffalo. Absolutely shouldn't have gone. Right? Or there should have been. It should have had some type of protection on it. Right? It just shouldn't have gone. If I don't know, some type of provision on it. To me, I just are even both picks should have had provisions on it.
I want to talk to Nick real quick because
go for it.
I've been out of pocket for the last week and a half about the Blackhawks, and people are going to hate me. I do keep up with them because they're in the Central Division. They're in the same state I live in, 270 miles away, whatever. So I do try to keep up on it. And Nick and I talked about, their draft, and I thought it was a good, solid B plus draft and things like that. But Nick, has anything else happened to make you even go, wow, that guy's going to be exciting this year? Have they made any other moves? Like I said, I've been out of pocket for a week and a half. Have they done anything else that goes, well, that's not great, but it's a start?
Other than signing guys that are going to be traded at the trade deadline, that's about it.
Okay.
And losing Eddie Olczyk to really add to the salt in the wound because the way the Hawks are right now, they're cheapskates, and they should have given Eddie Olczyk his 5-year contract that Seattle gave him.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not a Blackhawks fan. and I've never been a big Eddie Olczyk fan. But, you know, when he got cancer, I stood behind him, as I think everybody should, even if you're not fans of the team. I do think he's a good announcer for the Blackhawks. And I think Nick's right. They didn't treat the man right. After all he's given to them, he suffered through cancer, came back when he was probably still sick from chemo and radiation and all that crap. And this is how they basically – I think he was pushed out the door, you know, in my opinion. Am I right, Nick?
That's how I feel it as, because – this is what Eddie Olczyk never, when his contract was expiring with the Hawks, he never was without a new contract to come up, because he always signed an extension like a year before it was all ready to be expired. This year, with how the broadcasting is now, with Pat Foley retired, they were partners in the booth for 16 years together.
It's a long time.
Yeah. And with Pat Foley's retirement and the way the broadcasting went this year, it made me think, could this actually be his final year as the Hawks broadcaster? And I thought probably not, just because I think they would be smart, not stupid, to let him walk, which we now know they were idiots about, and they offered him a 2-year contract and prorated a contract where he would not get paid for games that he's not there for. And Seattle asked permission in June to interview, and I guess his brother put in good word in Seattle and hired him over there.
Yeah. It's are they just? Do you think they just want to go younger? Are they wanting to get maybe a woman in the booth? And there's nothing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. That I'm just asking a question. Do you think that's what it is, or do you think that maybe now we know why Foley retired? It's because he's just older. He's been an announcer a long time with hockey, and you know. But with Olczyk, I mean, do you think that it's just because they want to go younger and they're afraid that if it's really bad and it's a dumpster fire like we think Chicago is going to be this year, do you think he would start being more, not more honest, but do you think he might say during the game, boy, guys, this is just a mess here with the Blackhawks? Or do you think they were afraid of that maybe?
I don't know, because Edzo and Pat Foley both were not afraid to basically say this team is doing stupid things. Pat Foley called out Stan Bowman multiple times on broadcast. And when he even called out saying the builder of the 2010 roster is not Stan Bowman. Pat Foley said Dale Talon, the true builder of the dynasty, because Dale Talon got Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, Marian Hossa, Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, all to be on the Chicago Blackhawks. They fired Talon after signing Marian Hossa and made Stan Bowman the GM. No one but Stan Bowman himself gives credit for that team. And then Edzo on broadcast, he would even say, here's a thing what I would do to maybe fix the situation on the ice. And usually the next game you see something play out, and it was something Edzo said, and it worked because the team listened to him. I think what the Hawks did is a disgrace, because the only voice on that team right now of the organization the people trusted, like the fans trusted, would be Eddie Olczyk, because he played for the Hawks for many years. He was drafted there. He's a Chicago native. He came back to broadcast for us. So he has that trust from the fans. We do not trust the owner. We do not trust the GM. We do not trust the president of hockey operations, because they're pretty much new. Rocky Ward's, yes, is still there. We lost his trust after that fiasco at the town hall thing.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Right, girl. And we just have lost a lot of trust in the ownership.
Yeah, and like you and I have talked about before, the Blues are now worth a lot of money, but they ain't worth anywhere what the Blackhawks are worth. I mean, that guy has a golden goose, and he's treating it like it's a goose that's all dirty and it's got a noose around its neck, and he doesn't care if that goose is almost dead because it's still printing out, golden eggs, is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
That's sad. Like I said, not a big Blackhawk fan, but it's sad to see a team be taken from, 3-time Stanley Cup champion in 4 or 5 years to what it is now. And, it's sad to see that happen to a team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hey, first of all, I want to say a big thank you to Jason Nickel, Marianne Holmes, Jimmy Mollett, Thomas Moville, Brad Pond, and Glenn Gray. Thank you for putting those thumbs and hearts on Facebook. We really, really appreciate it. And then if you do it on YouTube, we don't get to see your name, but we love you just the same. Please don't forget, check out the BlueNote Fan Report on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. The addresses are down below. Oh, come on. I don't know who this is, man. Be nice. Come on, dude. Don't make me have to block you. I don't like doing that. We don't go after people. We don't attack people. We're friends here. Everybody's friends here. Wendy's been a very good friend of mine. We may not like the Hawks, he may not like the Blues, but we can talk hockey together. So let's be nice, dude. That's all I ask. So please. Don't be a keyboard warrior, and I'm not trying to be mean to you. Just be nice. That's all I ask, right? Don't be an ass, man. Come on.
Hey, who's ever doing it, I want to tell you one thing. I know a lot of people don't like the Blackhawks, but if you want a great hockey experience, whether it was the old United Center, whatever, it's a new stadium. Guys, it's fun to go watch a game there. Even when they're losing, it's still fun to watch a game. I would rather go to 30 Blackhawks games than go to 2 Nashville games. And I've been to Nashville. I won't go there again. I don't like the people. I'm sure there's some nice people there, but I've been to Blackhawks games, not against the Blues, but other games, and it's a great experience. So, hey, and we're all fans. If somebody's a fan of a team, don't diss them. I mean, they've got every right to be a fan of that team.
Come on, dude. Don't make me block you. Please just
I hate
don't
blocking people like that guy that said I blocked him. Did you notice I saw his tweet? I didn't block him.
I know. I got to laugh on that, Wow. I'm kind of lost here for a second. That's bothered me. No, I wanted to talk about Hockey Canada.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with that? There's an article on The Athletic that went very detailed into what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, I don't want to say anything that's going to upset anybody or anything, but when kids are 17, 18 years old, and yes, they know right from wrong. I get that. But when you treat a 17-year-old like a rock star.
Yep, exactly, Guy.
This is what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Whether, you know what, Albert, or whoever you are, I don't want to say that. It doesn't matter whether or not he does, whether or not his medical condition means that he has to do something like that. That's not for you or anybody else to worry about. That's a personal issue that's Lance's and not for you to bring up. Right? The guy has testicle cancer.
Prostate cancer.
You can't, prostate cancer, has prostate cancer. If you can't respect that, then really you don't need to be on my show. This man goes through chemo 6 days a week and still comes on this show after he has chemotherapy. That takes a lot of balls and a lot of stamina, and I give him all the respect in the world. So if you can't do that, I don't want you on my fucking show. Sorry.
Thank you, Guy, for sticking up for me. I appreciate it.
All right. No, it's it's bothering me.
Guy, I told you and Ashley about it months before I put it out on Twitter, or had my Twitter guy, my Twitter manager put it out. If I was trying to get something from it or trying to really make people feel sorry for me, I'd have put it out immediately. And I normally don't mention it. If Guy mentions it, I will talk to him about it. And if anybody mentions it, I'll talk to him about it. But, hey, everybody has to deal with something. And as soon as you start judging people based on what they're dealing with, someday, buddy, you're going to be dealing with something that might be worse than what I'm dealing with. And Lord help you, because it's not going to be fun. It's really not going to be fun. And Guy, thank you so much for sticking up for me.
No, it is what it is. I know what you're going through. And when you told me, I didn't say a word.
No, you guys didn't.
I didn't say a word. I don't, I know how to keep sources. I know how to keep secrets, and I didn't say a word.
Mhm.
I just, I had, I just, at some point it got to the point where I needed to say something.
And
but I want to talk
real quick. I don't hate that guy.
Yeah.
Even if he wants to leave a comment that's not too nasty and question me, hey, I don't care, because I don't worry about that stuff. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. And thank you, Guy, for sticking up for me.
Just
buddy.
reported him.
Yeah. I'm sorry for, it's a really sorry life if you got to pick on somebody like me.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I go off it. I apologize for my reaction. Or my wording. I'm sorry, but we'll go from there.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah. So Hockey Canada, my issue is, look, what these guys did is wrong.
Yep.
Right. And even reading it, there's questions in there. There's going to be questions, right? But first of all, you have the drinking age in Canada is 20.
Mm-hmm.
20.
Guy, it used to be 18.
I'm pretty sure it's 18.
Yeah, it used to be, as of 2012, it was 18.
Can someone look that up for me?
Yeah, well,
I know one Hockey
think
Canada guy was turned away for being too young.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the drinking age in Canada was 20.
Well, and I think it's different per province, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's per province.
Yeah.
This was in London, Ontario.
Yep. It's 19 years of age in British Columbia, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, Northwest Territories, Nova Scotia, Nunavut, Ontario, Saskatchewan, and the Yukon. And it's 18 years of age in Alberta, Manitoba, and Quebec, like I said.
So it's 19 in London, Ontario. It's 19.
It's 19. Yep.
Okay. Most of those guys were 18 or 19 at this point, right? If not younger than that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were. So to be honest, they shouldn't even have been allowed into the bars.
No, they should not have been.
Right? They shouldn't have been in the bars. I don't know what it is in London, Ontario. Maybe London has a different age limit. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know whatever that is. But what I'm talking about happened 4 years ago in 2018. Right? I'm sorry, trying to get back. Lost my train of thought there for a minute and probably upset some people. So sorry about that.
I think you were talking about their age, and I think I know where you're going with their age, but go ahead.
No, well, these guys get treated with this air of and you know what? I'm guilty of doing it. I've met Jake Neighbors, and I'm twice Jake. I'm almost 3 times Jake Neighbors' age, and here I am, bowing down to a 18-year-old kid, trying, because I'm trying to get him on the show. I want my show to expand, but at the same time, there has to be an understanding that these guys are just kids. They're just kids, and you have to treat them as what they are.
Yeah,
they were not this.
What were you gonna say, Nick?
Matthew Kachuk to the Florida Panthers.
I think that's a joke.
No, it's from Elliot Friedman.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
He just got traded to the Florida Panthers.
All right.
Okay.
All Blues fans that called me an idiot for saying he's not coming here, bite me. I'm sorry, but
hold on. Trying to find my Elliot, who I have Elliot Friedman on.
I put him and people like that. Yeah.
He's a Panther.
They're going to be good.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're going to be good.
That team could be the favorites to come out of the East next year.
I wonder what his AAV was.
They had to have made a contract with him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I wonder what his AAV in term is.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let me look this up.
Okay, well, right now it's just him reporting this. It is just him reporting this.
Frank Silverelli also is reporting it.
Wow. Wow. Well, that ended that.
What's the trade?
Yeah, that's the thing. What is the trade?
You need to stay live for when the actual trade's announced.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're staying here. We're
hey guys,
we're live.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know Doug Armstrong I don't know Doug Armstrong at all, but I know people around him that know him. If Doug Armstrong could have got this done and made it work for the Blues, he would have got it done.
Okay.
Trust me.
Contract 8 years, $76 million.
Who are you
So
getting
9.5.
That is from Strickland.
So 9.5.
Andy Strickland?
Yeah. Strickland tweeted Kachuk to Panthers at $76 million for 8 years.
Wow.
That's okay.
I want to know what the trade is.
So, sorry, St. Louis, you aren't getting Kachuk.
Don't have to apologize to me.
Nope. Wow.
I want to see what the Panthers gave up now.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
I do too. I want to see what this trade is.
You know what? Since I don't have radiation tomorrow, I might stay up and see if it'll come out a little bit later.
It should come out in the next few minutes, I would think.
Yeah, we'll stay on for a little bit. We'll stay on.
I got one here that says 7 years.
I mean, you're going to get some different stuff.
It was from one of the hockey writers.
Oh,
I don't know.
I would say Strickland probably has this one right.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, Elliot Freeman's also reporting extension of 8 years, 9.5 per.
That's what Freeman's reporting.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering if the Flames signed him to that and then traded him, or
I don't think so. I'm willing to bet the trade happened and the contract was signed, like what the Hawks did with
Matthew Kachuk. This is from Jeremy Rutherford. Matthew Kachuk has been traded to Florida and has signed an 8-year contract extension worth $76 million per source.
Yep.
Right, and this is getting liked and retweeted, heavily. So wow.
Expect a big trade to happen when we're live.
Well, they did say by the end of the week, and right. I'll be honest. I'm guessing that what was it? 8 years at $76 million. That's what does that come out to?
9.5.
9.5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm in shock.
Ooh.
I mean, I didn't think Florida was one of the teams, was it?
I heard Florida was a team interested. I didn't think they would make a trade.
No, I didn't either. I thought it was going to be New Jersey because I heard New Jersey was one of the top 2 teams.
Did Florida have what it takes? Did Florida didn't have the cap space, did they? So it had to be
a big
trade.
They had
someone out.
Yeah, they moved somebody out.
Right.
They're cap friendly. Yeah, they were over $3 million.
Yeah. So they had to move.
I wonder if Sam Reinhart's going back.
I bet. I was thinking that just when we were thinking, I bet you $10.
I can see Reinhardt.
You know back. What is Kachuk? Is Kachuk a left wing or a right wing?
Right wing, I thought.
I'm pretty sure right.
Yeah.
What? Oh man! What if they sent Barkov?
They aren't moving Barkov.
No.
No way in hell he's moving.
Well, Reinhardt's only $6 million, so you've got to clear. You've got to clear at 9.5, and they're $3 million over. So you've got to clear 9, 10, 11, 12. You got to clear almost $13 million. They have to clear $13 million. I think Barkov might be part of this
not
trade.
Leaving.
Right?
I honestly think it's going to be Reinhart and Duclair.
Reinhart is
Makes
6.5. And who else?
Declare.
Anthony Duclair.
Anthony Declare. Nice
Declare
winger.
is $3 million. That's only
That's about right.
That's no, because there's
That
still
does
$3
it.
million over. There's still another $3 million you got to clear.
Well, it also depends on how they did the contract. Is it backloaded?
No, it doesn't matter. AAV doesn't matter.
That is true.
How it's loaded doesn't
right.
matter. AAV
You're
is
right.
9.5. Plain and simple. They're 13 million over the cap. That 12.5 million over.
Iggy.
The money has to work now. Now they can be up to 10% over until the first day of the year, but you still got you've got to get rid of another, you got to get rid of another $3 million.
What if it's Verhaeghe, Reinhart, and Duclair?
Could be.
They have to clear out cap.
And you know what? If I'm Florida, I know the Florida fans may not like the trade, but if that was a trade offered to me and I was their GM, I'd take it in a heartbeat.
Jonathan Huberdeau.
I don't see Hagee. I don't see Hagee on here.
The Flames got Huberdeau.
Oh my God.
Jonathan Huberdeau,
Oh.
Mackenzie Weegar, and Cole's. Holy crap.
Who'd they get?
Jonathan Huberdeau.
Yeah, that's huge.
Who's reporting this?
Silverelli and Friedman.
Okay, let me go to Friedman.
Holy crap. I would not have thought Huberdeau would have gone and traded.
But they're still under. They're still oh no, here it is.
No, they aren't. They unloaded the money.
Huberdeau, Weegar, and Cole Schwitt, and a first.
They did it. Holy crap.
Wow. Wow. Are they
Calgary
I don't know. I mean, how good is that? I mean, that team still is
Calgary
going to be
wins
good.
this in a landslide.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Huge. They do. I agree with you, Nick. And like I said,
Florida just gave up a Hart Trophy final.
Yep. And you know what? Hey,
you think you said Calgary wins this in a landslide?
Yes, huge. And you know what? The Blues couldn't not have given them anything like close to that. Nothing close to that.
I'm saying this right now. Jonathan Huberdeau's the next captain of the Calgary Flames.
Yep, I agree.
I can see that.
Yep.
I can
Unless
see that.
they give it to Lindholm, which makes sense.
Yeah, he's a damn good player. I've always liked him. I've always liked Huberdeau.
I can't believe Huberdeau got moved.
Matthew Kachuk.
That's the shock of the deal to me.
For Huberdeau, McKenzie,
Weegar,
Cole Schwitt, and a first.
Yeah. Weegar doesn't hurt me or anything like that, but he's a decent player. He's a good player.
I know Panther fans were ticked off with his play this past season, but he's competent on the blue line.
Yeah,
but
he's very good.
Huberdeau getting moved to the Flames.
Boy, you know what? I like I said, I thought the Panthers were a team that was interested, but when I was thinking of that, Nick, I never thought they would give up Huberdeau. I thought he was untouchable.
They would give up Hubie.
No, I thought he's untouchable.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
This is a bad trade.
It's a very bad trade.
Actually, they've still got. You know what? They're still short on money. They're still short on money. They're still $3 million over.
They'll do something.
They still got to. They still got to drop somebody.
Actually,
it's for a while.
Players on LTIR.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
DeClaire will end up in LTIR.
Hey, you know what, Nick? If they would have said Huberdeau and a first round pick and a third, I may have even taken that.
I wouldn't. I frankly would not have moved Huberdeau.
No, there's other guys that could have moved.
Yeah. This is a terrible trade.
Tilo, we don't know anything about trades after this one. I mean, we're sitting here with our minds blown.
Oh.
Now, see, that tells me the Blues were not getting Kachuk.
Guy, what have I been saying all along? They're probably not going to get him.
Because you know who we would have had to give up to get Kachuk? O'Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
That's O'Reilly, who we would have had to give up.
We had to give up O'Reilly, Kyrou, and one or two of the younger guys.
Yeah.
And maybe a pick.
Think, why the fuck are the
I'm
trading Huberdeau?
I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. the Flames are going to be very happy with Huberdeau.
Oh yeah, they will.
Yeah, very happy with him.
They will need to find him a center, though. Actually, you could put him.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, yeah, can you imagine him with a really good center in Calgary?
Well, Lindholm's a pretty.
Yeah. I'm talking about when he's in Calgary, though. He'll need a good center.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Jason? These guys, their careers are short. But and here's the thing. I was thinking about this. I brought this up the other night, and I said that Kachuk had already made $65 million, and that's not true. He's actually made a lot less than that because of the escrow account. They never see that money. The money that they put in escrow, they never see that back. So, they got to get. I don't have an issue with these guys getting the money they can get. I really don't. I thought that Kachuk was going to have to, if he was going to come to St. Louis, he had to be willing to take less money here. And I just didn't see it happening. I really did not see it happen. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. To Michael Dante, Jason Nichols, Marianne Holmes, Jimmy Mollett, Thomas Moville, Brad Pond, and Glenn Gray on YouTube or Facebook. Thank you so much. If you're watching us on YouTube, please put that thumb in the air. Let us know you like. Don't forget to subscribe to the BlueNote Fan Report or to Windy City Hockey to follow Nick and the Blackhawks.
Are you?
Say again?
This makes the DeBrincat trade even worse.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. You guys giving up DeBrincat makes no sense to me. If you want to get young, he's a young superstar. You build your team around.
What is he? 20? Is he 23 or 24, Nick?
He'll be 24 in November.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy you.
No,
that is the guy that you build
already
around.
24. He'll be 25 in November.
Right. Yeah, that's a guy. Like I said, Kane and Taser on the out. That is a guy you want to build around to be there for a long time.
No. This trade blows my mind. This trade really blows my mind.
Mine too.
And to think about this, Kachuk in Florida. Wow. Now is he in the same division as his brother?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. They're in the same division. I think they're both in the Metropolitan, right?
The Atlantic.
The Atlantic. Sorry, in the Atlantic. Wow. The Atlantic division just got much better.
The Panthers got weak.
Yeah, I mean, and I was being told the Panthers were like the fourth or fifth team interested a week ago.
Yeah.
And everybody kept telling me, St. Louis has a lead because he's from there, and that's why the writers put it in there. But most people that I talk to is telling me New Jersey.
They're not twins. They're not twins.
Not. Hey,
they're 2 years apart.
I'm going to tell you guys a story. 2006, the first year of the new Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And the green seats right behind home plate, they're like $250, $350 a piece.
Yep.
And they go underneath.
I sat in them that year.
I've sat in them 5-6 times. I go to sit down in my seats because I bought them on what site was it? StubHub, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I got 2 seats for me and my client back then. We go to sit down. Guess who comes in about 10 minutes before the game, sits next to me?
Kachuk.
Keith Kachuk and Matthew and Brady in 2006. And Brady was the one sitting next to me, and Matthew was sitting next to him. And either his mom, I think his mom was supposed to come that day, or his dad, and that's why he had extra tickets. And he sat there during the whole game, chewing on tobacco and spitting in a cup. And I went up and got him beer once. It's free beer. But every time he got back up once. He said, "Hey, buddy, here's a Budweiser for you." I said, "Thank you, Keith. I appreciate it." He goes, "What's your name?" And I go, "Lance." And when they come down and take an order, he go, "Lance, do you want a beer? Do you need anything, Lance?" Super nice guy. And I wasn't in all goo-goo eyes over him. I thanked him like he was somebody else. Never asked for a picture with him because he was with his family. And little did I know those 2 little boys would be great NHL players.
Oh, I know, man. Yeah. I know you've seen my picture. What? But don't you think the Panthers are going to have a good season? Don't you think that they're the favorite in that division?
I don't think they are now.
Not now.
No.
They gave up the bet. Jonathan Huberdeau is so much better than Matthew Tkachuk.
Yep. People are going to argue that with me, but I'll go with that every day.
And he has one of the best contracts in the freaking league.
Oh, yes. Very good contract. Thank Tilo.
Yeah, what, 6.5 or 5.5, 6.5, I think it was.
5 points, 5 point something.
5.9. 5.9,
Okay.
so just under 6.
You know what? Everybody was saying that the Calgary GM couldn't get anything done like that good. Well, bravo to him. He got a good deal.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Huberdeau's a UFA next year, so they got him at 1 year, right?
I think
I thought he had several years left.
No, he is a UFA next year.
UFA next year.
I'm going to tell you
right?
what.
He's going to sign a contract tonight.
Yeah, the Flames wouldn't have traded for him if they hadn't agreed on a contract.
Mackenzie Weegar is UFA next year also at 3.2.
Yep.
And then you've got this Swaggart or Schwitt, Cole Schwitt, 21 years old, minor league guy.
Yeah, prospect.
Prospect for, 890, 855 for the next 2 years. Right wing center that could bring up. He's still on his ELC. Got a few bonus in there, waiver exempt. You can move you up and down. That there's not a problem with that. That's one of the wow. That's
the 2025 first round pick going to Calgary.
Yeah.
And a 25, not
That's
even next year.
That's a lot, though, guys.
Yeah.
4 for 1. It's not the 5 for 1 they wanted. And I think that the bigger issue is going to be, well, for Calgary, everyone's saying Calgary won this one. They may not have won this one now if they cannot get Huberdeau signed.
Oh, I think
that is.
Oh, they're going to get him signed. Trust me.
That is.
Huberdeau's
well,
from Alberta.
you don't know that. You don't know that. This is the thing. If Huberdeau didn't have a no trade clause and he had a modified one, so he submitted a list, and apparently Calgary wasn't on that list unless they pulled a Vegas. This is, we don't know that yet. He may not want to stay in Calgary. This may be one of them things where he got traded and he doesn't want to be traded. For them to win this trade, they have to sign him. They have to sign him. I think that signing,
it'll get done.
That signing has to be done before the start of the season. If it's not done by the start of the season, this becomes a bad trade for them.
It'll get done probably within a week, if not a day or two.
I don't think the Flames make this trade if they
didn't
talk with Huberdeau already.
Right? We got a new one. Guido, thank you. All you guys on YouTube, I really appreciate you. I'm not sure who's watching us, but thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you for following us.
I'm just shocked.
I am too.
I'm surprised it came down on a Friday. I really am, to be 100% honest with you. I figured it would wait till Monday.
I'm just trying to figure out, why would the Panthers trade Jonathan Huberdeau?
I don't know.
They didn't think they could sign him. That's what it comes down to. They didn't think they could sign him. They were able to work a deal out with Kachuk's agent. So that's what it comes down to. It absolutely comes down to whether or not they could sign him. And in my eyes, I'm guessing they couldn't.
This trade.
Hey, YouTube guys, I only got 1 like on YouTube. Come on, dudes. Look me up on YouTube. Them thumbs in the air. Don't be buttheads. Put them thumbs in the air. Give me them likes. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there. Give me them likes on YouTube. All right, because I can't see your name.
I just think this weekend.
To me, that's what it comes down to. They didn't think they could sign him.
Yeah. It weakens the Panthers. And it makes, and I know people are going to disagree with it. It makes Calgary a better team.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, if they get him signed, and that's the thing, right? It comes down to if they get him signed.
Hey, here's one thing: Huberdeau's finally going to get more noticeability because he's going to Canada.
What? Are you shitting me, Dante? Are you shitting me?
That's
No
not
way.
true.
That's not true.
No
He's,
way.
he's trying to get me worked up.
That's
He
not
might be getting me
happening.
worked up. Yeah, I don't see anything on here. Brady Kachuk. I have to show this.
The dollar
I have to
emoji,
I have to show this.
the money bag emoji.
Yeah. Oh, I have to show this. That says everything to me right there.
Yeah. In
That's
my
what this was
opinion,
about.
This weakens the Panthers so much.
That's what this was all about. Right there. That says it all. That absolutely says it all. I can't even make the tweet bigger. Here we go. But that just says it all.
You know what? That trade shocked me more than if they had just announced Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews to the Colorado Avalanche for a second-round pick. That's how much this shocks me.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. I'm still, but that tweet says it all. You know, it was about the money. It was about the money, and that's what it came down to. You know, it was all about the money. Like he wanted to play closer to home, and he just didn't make it public. Who are you talking about? Huberdeau? Possible. Where's Huberdeau from?
Going to a whole.
I think he's from Alberta.
He's from Quebec.
Quebec. Well, that's a little bit farther away.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really. I mean,
Yeah,
It's
it
across
almost
the
even, but it's
country.
easier. It's easier to get to Quebec from Calgary than it is from. He could probably take a direct flight from Calgary to Quebec.
It's about a
When
5-hour
he would
flight.
have to take, instead of from Florida or
It's
Florida's Miami, right?
It's a 5-hour flight, 4.5 from there.
I just don't understand the Panthers doing this.
Yeah, we might need a reaction show to this. I'm still like it's surprising. It's one of those that comes out of nowhere. This reminds me of the Dick Vermeil as a head coach of the Rams.
Yeah.
Right? Who saw that coming, and who saw the Rams winning a championship his first year as head coach, or first or second year as head coach, right?
Here, this actually helps sums up this trade perfectly. I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay. Well, I might not be able to. You got to put it in the private one, otherwise
That's
I'm not
where
going to be
I'm
able to.
putting it.
Cat friendly. Here we go. I'm working on it. Wow. Well, so we were all wrong. Every single one of us was wrong.
Well, I did say he wasn't coming to the Blues. I did say that.
Well, we still there was some. What you gave me to just pull up the. Is it no? When I'm seeing. Hold on a second, Nick. Okay. Is this the no? That's a trade you sent me.
Did it not copy and paste? Hang on.
Here we go. I got it now. I think I got it now.
I just grabbed it off of Twitter.
And Florida gets a 4th-round pick.
A conditional.
Okay.
So
Depends on what the condition is.
Yeah.
I still think this is a terrible trade by the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, the 25 is a conditional first round pick.
No, I'm talking about
10.
I'm talking about
it's
protected.
conditional first.
No, I'm talking
It's
about
a top 10 protected, so
I'm talking about what Florida got. They got a 2025 conditional 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to bring it up, guys. Give me a second.
Okay. I mean, I don't get it. I still am sitting here, and the only thing I can think, like we said earlier, maybe Huberdeau said, you guys might want to think about trading me since I'm in the last year of my contract because I'm not coming back. And they thought, well, we better do it now because there may be some value out there. Maybe we can put him in a package to get Kachuk. I mean, that's the only thing I can think is him saying he was going to resign here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who
We'll have
actually
to.
would have ever thought that the Blues would actually make a big trade like that? I don't think Armstrong has that type of deal in him. Well, I mean, he made the O'Reilly trade, right? He made the Shin trade. Those were pretty big trades. I mean, those were trades that brought you the cup. To be honest, I mean, if you want to be completely honest, those are trades that brought you the cup.
All right, now there's people on Twitter, certain podcasts saying that Huberdeau is the guy that Doug Armstrong should be weaponizing in a trade this summer. Come on,
God.
guys. Come on.
What podcast is saying that?
2G1C.
Oh yeah, I really haven't listened to them.
And this never mind. I met them and they were good guys at first and haven't treated me well, and I tried to treat them well, and it didn't go both ways. And eventually, I'm like, whatever. But I mean, for what they do, and we do what we do, and no big deal. I wish them the best. But sometimes, people, and not just them, people put stuff out that's just as crazy as what Nick and I think right now is how Calgary fleeced them.
Yeah. Well, it's the Cervelli makes a great point, and Nick, let me bring this up. Nick just sent it to me. It's an amazing point.
Yeah, let me look at it.
And it does. When you read this,
mm-hmm.
this is why the trade happened. Plain and simple. It comes down to this, right? 100-point player for 100-point player, right? You're giving up a 100-point player, and when you say that, that's what matters, right? That's what matters. You gave up a 100-point player.
I'm just wondering how Huberdeau is going to play under a system from Daryl Sutter.
Yeah.
Well, I disagree. In some ways, I disagree with that. The O'Reilly trade was a 5-for-1. Kachuk wasn't even a 5-for-1, right? You didn't give up 5 pieces. They didn't give up 5 pieces. They gave up 4 pieces, they gave up 2 pieces and got 4 back. So it was a 4 for 2. So in a lot of ways, Panthers add net 350 cap, so they're almost $4 million over.
But by the season, Duclair will be on LTIR.
Yep, it'll be gone.
Well, they'll have to put somebody else. They'll have to. I'm going to see if it's been updated. Actually, right now it's got him at projected cap space of $6.1 million. So
that can't.
I don't
that's
know
not.
what they're not showing. Oh, they're not showing. They're not showing the contract yet. They don't have.
No.
They don't have. Yeah, they don't have him signed yet.
Yeah,
they don't have him signed yet.
And I bet you $10 they probably backloaded it.
But it doesn't matter, Lance. AAV doesn't matter. AAV, you can backload a contract all you want. The most important thing to cap hit is AAV.
I know that, but what I'm saying is a team still only has as much they can have to spend. So if they're damn, what was the point I was going to make? I'm totally lost now. I'm totally lost. That money still has to come out of the team's pockets. What I'm saying. Yeah. It's not like, well, the cap hit 6.1, so they only gave the guy 6.1 million. No, he gets his full check for his full salary, and not just the AAV. Is what my point I was trying to say.
Yep, I get you, Aaron Coulter. Thank you for putting that thumb in the air. We greatly appreciate it, my friend. And if you did it on where we at on YouTube, how many of them on YouTube have done it now? We got 4. All these people watching me on YouTube and 4. Come on, dudes, put them thumbs in the air. Let me know you care. And one of them's me, so it's only 3. That's how bad it is. Come on, dudettes. Come on, dudettes. Thank you, Winnie. Guy was about to end the show, and you had the shock and awe to keep it rolling. Wendy, you're getting some thanks there for that. Mike Dante says, and I like this, I think Thomas and Kyrou could be 80 to 100-point players as early as this year. I'm glad we stayed out of the empty sweepstakes in a way. I'm with you. My concern was always what you had to give up, right? What? And you guys are saying that Florida's automatically lost this deal because they had to give up Huberdeau.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, that was my fear with the Blues is what you would have had to give up. And this is, you know, to me, the only way to make that deal work was giving up O'Reilly. And I'll guarantee you, if we would have had time to put that trade out, we would have gotten toasted.
Yeah.
Toasted by Blues fans. Right? Jason says, how do we protect Kyrou? Seriously, he gets hit too much. You know, the Blues do have one area of need, and then they don't have a big physical defenseman. Right? There is a big physical defenseman out there that I would like us to get if we could get him at league minimum.
Who?
Lance knows, and he hates me for it.
I can't. I can picture the guy's face. I can't think of his name.
I can't believe Subban.
Yeah,
Subban is a big physical defenseman. You can bring him in. He can play. He can play second line. He can play.
He's washed up. No, he can't play first line or second line.
He can play second or third.
No, he's washed up.
He's a seventh man defenseman at best.
Right now, he's a number 7 defenseman at best. He's slow. His knees are bad. Did you watch in New Jersey? If there was any kind of a chance for a breakaway and Subban was the one back skating, the breakaway happened. He's not the guy. If he was the Subban 3 years after he's in the league, or 5 years, or 7 years, I'd say, heck yeah, bring him in. But I'm with Nick. You know, you could go, if you really like the guy, you could say he's a 6. But I think I'm with Nick. He's a 7th.
And I understand that, but let's look at because we need a big physical defenseman. Right, I believe that.
So
I believe we need a big
guy nicknamed Sluban for a reason.
Yeah, I know, I get it. So
Mr. himself.
And do you know what that is? I'm going to tell you. When I see a guy start slew-footing people, first thing I look at is his age, because when you get old like that, and you can't get a player in a certain position, or you can't catch up to him or whatever, or do what you need. Yeah, a lot of times he's going to take the foot out from him because he's not what he used to be.
Well, here are the defensemen that are available. The top 10 defensemen, UFAs that are available right now: PK Subban, Anton Strawman, Danny DeKeyser, Calvin DeHaan, John Klingberg, Michael Kempe, Thomas Hinkie, Ryan Murray, Scott Harrington, and Robert Haig. Robert Haig is at number 10 at $1.6 million.
I'm shocked DeHaan hasn't been signed by anyone.
Yeah, I'm shocked that the Klingberg hasn't. Not that he's still decent, but that one really shocks me.
I think Klingberg. Who was he on last year?
Dallas.
I think the going thing is that he's going to re-sign with Dallas.
He wanted out of there. That was the thing.
Yeah, he wants out.
He asked to be traded last year. And this is true. He did ask to be traded. But then on free agent day, apparently did circle back to maybe re-sign there. But I don't think he goes back to Dallas. I honestly see him signing a deal in Ottawa.
Could be.
Yeah, that could make some sense.
He would fit pretty good on that team.
Yeah.
DeHaan surprises me too.
Yeah.
Right. That he's still on. I mean, he's 31, but even at 31, that's not over the hill yet, you know?
Well, I think might be the issue with DeHaan is the fact the GM see that DeHaan's had hip injuries.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I don't know.
It's a terrible idea to go after PK Subban.
Right. Understood. I just, I want that big physical defenseman. He might be the only one out there.
Would you be okay with seeing a guy going out there slew footing every
No, I wouldn't.
other
No,
night?
I wouldn't. And that's the one thing that I will say. No, I wouldn't. The first time he slew-footed, I would want him fined and suspended. Right? I absolutely would. And you know, that's we see it a lot. We see that a lot in the NHL, and you're right. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I'm not sure who this is here saying they're glad that we didn't get Kachuk.
I agree with
We're
you.
like the only show. We're the only
Yep.
show that didn't want Kachuk.
Yeah.
Right? I know that for a fact. I mean, because we've been beat up for it so bad. I've been beat up for it on Twitter. I've been beat up for it in my own group.
Yep.
Right? I've been beat up for it in my own group. So I get it. It is what it is. Oh, by the way, if you're a golfer in the St. Louis area, the Blues Warrior Hockey has a golf tournament coming up on August 8th. Go to St. Louis Blues Warrior Hockey on Facebook, and you can see how to sign up. 4-person scramble. It's also on my page. I put the link there on my Facebook page. You can check that out. Greatly appreciated if you do that. Would make me happy. And I was getting ready to look at something. I was trying to see who that was on that was making that comment, but I can't find it. So I'm kind of lost. Jason Nichols says, tell 55 to step up the anger or lose the ice time. Might work, probably not. I don't know. I just with Parayko, I don't know what's going to make Parayko a better player. I honestly don't. Right? He had 2 of the top 10 fastest shots this year. 2 of them. Yet he just didn't seem to use it until it was too late. Okay, Chris Thompson. There we go. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris.
Great, Chris.
I get it, bud. I get it. I'm there. If you want Subban, get Zdeno. Chara.
Chara's retired.
Yeah.
That's even if he was still playing, that's even worse.
Well, he hasn't retired yet, has he?
I think he did announce that he's retired.
I don't know, man. I think he's bigger. They say he's bigger, more physical, but he's a lot slower. A lot slower. Right. We need that guy. We need that guy. We need that physical presence. And here's the thing. Parayko should be it. He's big enough. He's absolutely big enough.
Yeah, but Guy, it's like I've said, you're a player, and I'm sure they tried to do it when he was in high school and 10, 11, 12 years old. He's probably a big guy, bigger than everybody else, and they wanted him to be a little physical. And he's a super nice guy, and he doesn't have that chip on his shoulder. If you ever meet Chris Pronger, he's nice, but you can tell the guy is not going to put up with crap. Just from talking to him for 5 minutes. He'll smile at you, talk to you, get a picture taken with him, but you can just tell by his demeanor that if you got him ticked off, nothing's going to stop him from getting on you. And I wish Parayko was that, but he's never going to be that. But like
you got to remember, Parayko was a steal.
Nobody. Yep.
Nobody was looking at Parayko.
Nope.
The Blues were the only one that scouted him at Anchorage. They were the only one that even they could have actually not drafted him.
Yeah, they probably would have got him.
And still got him, and they drafted him. I think it was in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Right? They could have just let him go. Right? And that he was an absolute steal. Because but that was part of I think that was the knock on him, that he didn't have a mean streak.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Big guy, no mean streak. And you got to have that mean streak. You absolutely have to have it.
And I was going to say one more thing, guy. Nick and I both understand why you want Subban, but I think what you want is the Subban from 6 years ago, which if he was still that, I'd say try to get him, because the Blues could use him.
Subban from 6 years ago, you're not getting. I'm looking at getting somebody cheap.
Yeah, but even if you get him, let's say a league minimum or somewhere around 850, 900K, which I don't think he's going to take, and that's one of the reasons why he's not been signed. I still don't think he's worth that, but I understand it because we do need somebody that's not going to be an idiot out there slew-footing people and intentionally leaving the ice to hit somebody into the boards. We don't want somebody like that, but we want somebody that's a little like Ryan Reeves, but maybe can give you 15 to 18 goals a year, something like that, or maybe even 12. Be a 25-point defenseman, somebody that can add something to the offense. And I'd love to have that guy, and maybe it would rub off on him. But in my mind right now, you know who our most physical defenseman is? Justin Falk, right now. Now. And if you'd have told me that when I watched him play with the Canes, no way in heck would I think he could get into a defensive system and thrive, but he has.
Jason Nichols says, I hate it, but Marchand would protect Kyrou. Again, I don't want that. I don't want that style of player on my team. I'll tell you what. You know who I want? I want somebody that we can't afford and we're never going to get. But what?
No, I'm just laughing at you because that would be nice.
I want Maroon back. Right? Maroon was that guy. Maroon was that guy. And you got to have, you need that guy. You need that presence, that physical presence, that Ryan Reeves type presence, that Maroon type presence. And since Maroon left, we haven't had it. Bortuzzo ahead of Falk for physicality.
No.
Yeah, I'm not there.
4 or 5 years ago, possibly.
Yeah.
No.
You know, Steen in a way was that nasty guy when he played on the fourth line. You know, we don't have that nasty guy, and that's the thing that I think we need. And I don't know who's out there.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'll tell you who could be it, but he just makes too many freaking mistakes. Is Costin, right? Costin could be that guy.
I'm going to tell you right now, we're all talking about Kachucks. Costin could have been that guy, the forward that was physical like Keith Kachuk was, but could still score goals. He's not as big as Keith, but I guarantee you once Costin, if he could play and get into games and be well enough to make the roster every year, he's one of those guys that at 24, 25 is going to be 20, 30 pounds heavier. So he's going to be even beefier because he hasn't grown into that 6'5", 6'6" body. And you're right, though, Guy. He's the guy that's got both of it. He can give you offense as a forward, but dang, he can push you into the boards, and he doesn't have to be dirty about it.
But he's got to do it this year. He's got to do it this year.
He has to do it this year.
And I'll tell you what, if he doesn't do it in the first month, you send his ass back down, and then you trade him. You trade him. You give him a 1-year deal, and if he does, this is it. You either do it or you're gone. And that's what, that's where I'm at with it. Hold on a second. I'm trying to. I just looked at what Florida had to give up, and I think St. Louis would have to give up too much. I think that, this is one of those times where, I get people are going to be upset, but, you gotta, you know what, Kachuk, or Mike, I don't think it was that much of a gamble. I don't think that was that much of a gamble. That I disagree with. Chara is not better than Parayko. He was 5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. In 19 he was, but he's not now, right? Parayko just needs to get that nastiness in his game, and that's what he doesn't have.
Yeah,
I don't think that Costin pick was much of a gamble as everyone says it was.
It wasn't.
He dropped. He was a steal. He was the number 1 rated European skater, and we traded him. We traded Ryan Reeves for him and got Sundqvist.
Mm-hmm.
We won that deal. It's just now it's time for Costin to put up or shut up. Okay, thank you, Ryan. You were pushing me there, bud. You were pushing me. Now you make McDavid look bad. What? Wow, 1 hour and 50 tonight. What a good show. What a good show. Lance, are you feeling good, my friend?
Yeah, I'm just tired. I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping well at night. Just because of being, just thinking of the next day and what's ahead and stuff like that. But it's 2 weeks down, 6 weeks to go, and I'm a little better than I thought it would be by this time. So because most of the symptoms start second, third week. So I'm hoping next week isn't bad. I think next week will really tell the tale. But overall, I'm doing all right and just trying to get better. And if anybody else is going through anything similar, I hope you're doing well too and keep fighting it.
Well, Kelly Chase just rang the bell.
Yeah, I
I
saw
didn't
that.
even know he had. I didn't even know he had cancer. I didn't know what he had, but he just rang the bell. So that I'm happy. I'm happy for
Yeah,
him.
good for him.
Actually, I think he did. I think that offer now to me was absolutely what they offered. And you know what? Calgary might have originally accepted it, and then when they went to Krug and asked Krug said no.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened there. I think that was, and that was the starting point.
Yeah. And it's like I said earlier, Krug gave them permission this season. I don't know if it was before the trade, before the trade deadline, after the season, whatever. But he told the Blues, because he could kind of see some of the things coming up with Perunovic possibly getting major playing time. He saw it coming up. He said, if you want to trade me, kind of like Tarasenko did, let me know, and I'll let you know where I would be open to go. And like I said, another great player that cares about the team he's leaving. Yeah. But I can guarantee you, Krug didn't want to go to Calgary.
Yeah, I have that feeling too.
And
a lot of the U.S. players do not like playing in Canada.
Yeah,
they do not like playing in Canada.
And I understand it, but I spent a lot of time up there, especially Calgary and Ontario, a little bit in BC, and the people are so nice and they love their hockey. I mean, they eat, breathe, sleep and drink it, whatever, and they're great fans. But I don't know, just some players don't want to either go there and like I said, I think it's got to do with the taxes and all that stuff. And like I said earlier, some people are getting political with their careers, and it's their right to do it. But I think that's a huge reason from what I'm being told from agents. Guys don't want to go up there. They just don't.
Well, I just thought about something. You think about Kachuk's contract there.
Mm-hmm.
There's one reason. There's another reason why guys want to go to Florida and Tampa Bay.
Tax-free.
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 No state
right.
tax.
Yep.
No state tax.
Yep.
And that's got a lot to do with things.
Mm-hmm.
Right, when you have no state tax, that helps things out.
Mm-hmm.
I really do wish that some states would, and I know this sounds so freaking bad, but I do wish that some states would not tax athletes. I really do, because one of the things I get the state tax, but in the overall scheme of things, what's a few million here and there? When you can, when the revenue that player can bring in is so much better. You're losing players that aren't going there because the money isn't the same. When if you don't tax them, the money's the same as a state that doesn't have tax, and then the revenue that you bring in is always going to be more than the revenue you would make from that player's tax.
And what a lot of people don't understand, and let's say Matthews and all the Leafs come down to play in St. Louis. Most of you fans realize that they pay a tax to play in St. Louis for every game?
Yep.
Every city they go to, they play an amusement or it's a professional players tax for every game they go to. And it's not a lot of money, but it's still something else that comes out of their pocket every game, every city they go to.
Right. So you know what, guys? Thank you so much. Great night tonight. We're just short of 2 hours.
Awesome.
You know what? We're getting closer. We're going to get to a point where we're going to have a 4-hour show. We're going to have a wonderful 4-hour talk radio tile show. I'm looking forward to it. We're getting there. We're going to take the weekend off. Maybe tomorrow is an iffy. Stand by. It might be an earlier show. See how things go. See what more we hear about this as we hear more and more about, this contract negotiation and this trade negotiation and how it all went down. So, stand by on that. You know what? Thank you. I think we did a great job covering things tonight. Wendy, thanks so much for coming on tonight. I cannot wait till you and me can do a full on, show where Blues and Blackhawks when they're playing the same game, and we can do a show like that on both, figure out how to do it on both channels and make it work. I think it would be so much fun, right?
Sometimes hard because I tend to go to the games.
Yeah, well, I wish I could, my friend. I wish I could. Lance, we love you, my friend, and I apologize for my language earlier, but I wasn't going to have any more of that.
Well,
right. I wasn't going to have somebody make fun of a medical condition.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I was not. And I knew the answer, and I just didn't feel that it was important. And I was not going to let someone to go and make fun of a medical condition.
I went ahead and reported the guy on YouTube.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. But no, I just, and I don't like blocking people.
I don't
there's
either.
a reason
I
for
don't.
it. There's a reason for it. I don't block people on purpose. To be honest, and I've talked about this a little, my breakdown came from a group kicking me out. My breakdown, it was coming anyways, but the straw that broke the camel's back was a group that blocked me and kicked me out and made me feel really, did not make me feel good about myself. And I don't want to do that to somebody.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes that's what you do when you, you know what, Ryan, I don't know, my friend, probably somewhere around the hour mark.
Yeah, it was a little after the hour.
Right before the Kachuk stuff happened.
Yeah,
Yep.
right before the
Yep.
Kachuk thing. So I just wanted to say that first time watching you guys and
Oh,
caught
thanks,
the last
Zach.
45. Great show, guys. Definitely coming back. Well, Zach, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about it. I don't know if you're a Blues fan or just a hockey fan. We're fans of the game. The Blue Note Fan Report does the best we can at covering as many different teams as we can. We're Blues-centric, but that doesn't mean that that's all we care about, because you got to care about the whole league. And thanks so much, Zach. Again, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it.
Mhm.
Follow us on Facebook at the Blue Note Fan Report. Follow me on Twitter at HISTL Blues Fan, or at Blue Note Report, or at STL Fan Report. STL Fan Report.
Oh,
Love you all. Have a great.
Sorry.
He said subscribe 10 minutes ago. Let's go Blues. Well, you know what? Make sure you share this on all your pages, my friend. Make sure you share it and tell all your friends about it so we can get more. We're trying to go every night. So, you know what, guys? Have a great night. This is Guy, the Y Blues fan, for Windy City Hockey, and Lance to Scott from the Drop, saying aloha mahalo, and I'll see you next time. Blue Note Fan Report. Don't forget, I'm bleeding blue with you.